Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. How are you, Kim?
Good, good. I'm excited for the week. It's the
You're
last
finally
day.
feeling better, right?
I am 7.5 weeks out and I'm doing much better. I can sit at a chair for 6 hours at a time now. So
I always tell you, though, do not overdo it because we need you. So
yes, no, I'm learning. I get sent back to the couch if I don't listen to the body. So we listen. So
Okay, awesome. And I love this topic today because I'm always trying. I think I put something in my stories this morning. I just threw something in there, but I love the specifics of this topic. So 5 tips to spruce up your Instagram stories. Instagram stories is coming up to be pretty important when you want to grow your following, correct?
well,
No?
maybe. So this is kind of just where the little twist is. So stories are important to build your brand and to build the trust. So if you want just a following, that's where you do that Instagram feed. You're very niche specific. You're very curate. That's the purpose of the feed. The stories is where we build trust. And when we build trust, we end up having sales without having to sell.
Yeah, see, that's what I teach, the attraction marketing, right? Not trying to slam somebody into one of your programs, but just attracting them to you and let them check out what you offer and reach out to you. So that's where stories comes in.
Stories provide a wonderful opportunity for that because people really get to know you, because we can all curate. Like, it's really easy for me to curate images for my clients on their Instagram feed. I can do their stories some, but for their stories to really be successful, it needs to be more of a partnership, because the stories are more of the in the moment, more of what is happening throughout your day, which, so the first tip is that stories build the trust. And so first of all, I don't know how many are listening, but let us know, are you using stories as part of your marketing strategy? That would be kind of good to know. And then two, if you have any questions on stories or what's stopping you from using stories, let us know. We'll see if we can answer them. So the first one is Instagram feed is what you use to build your followers. The stories is building your trust, but it also helps increase people to go with the algorithm so that your feed shows up a little bit more. So when you go to post a story, if you're going to post on your feed, think about posting a story like a minute or two beforehand, so then that you're up a little bit higher. So that way people will look at your story like, oh, I wonder what she's got in her feed. And then you've got something fresh on your feed. So that's a little hack tip type thing. So the next question I often get is, how many times should we post to our stories for a day? So ideally, now we all know life doesn't happen that way. Ideally, we should post 5 times a day, but the caveat is it's not 5 story posts, it's 5 times a day. So like, I'm good about posting story posts, and I'll post like 3 or 4 stories all in one little segment, but really spread it throughout the day. Again, when we think about that algorithm and that connection and getting to know people, the more that you get to spend time with them, the more that they're going to get to know, like, and trust. So when you spread that out throughout the 5 times a day, and kind of like every 2 hours, go ahead and do a story post. Now, of course, it's not real sometimes to live in Instagram, but just as a kind of to keep in the back of your mind type thing.
You know, it's funny because when I get on a roll with Instagram, it is like, oh, I'll take a picture of my breakfast, and I just took a picture of you and I'll post that after we go off, right? And if I think about just take a picture of what I'm doing throughout the day, that's what you're talking about, right? So if I post 5 times a day throughout my day, a little snippet, that's the trust factor, where people get to know me, what I do, and all that.
Right. And so then the next question we get is, how do we boost views? So we want to think about stories as more of a conversation and not shouting at people. So we want to engage in the story. So if you posted your breakfast, we'll use that as a good example. And you could do a picture of a coffee cup with, coffee and tea, and then make it a slider, like, or a yes or no, coffee, tea, this or that. type thing. You're increasing that engagement, making it super simple. Another one would be, do you start your morning off with breakfast? Yes or no? Something like that. So that that increases more engagement. More engagement means more views. And so you want to use polls, quizzes, the question sticker, responses, DMs, countdowns. One for interior designers that I thought of is that little slider bar. And so if you have a picture of a new project that you just completed, put the slider bar and say, how much would you love this? Or do you like the colors that we use here? And making a question. So all they have to do is slide, make it super easy. People, chances are, unless you have a very active audience, which most of us don't have, like a super active. If you ask a question where it requires a big answer, they're not going to do it. But yes, no, sliders, ABCs are really great ways to increase engagement and then build that relation. And the more engagement you have, the more views you have. And it tells Instagram. So if you keep posting to stories and you don't get any engagement, Instagram's going like, well, people don't really care about our stories, so they're not going to show them as off. But if you answer, they start asking questions. I know you're watching the Queen of Gambit's Netflix show. Snapping that on that and say, have you watched this show? Yes or no?
I love that show. that's a whole sidebar, but yeah, I wish there was more. I want to watch more of it.
Right. So, but those are some quick, easy ways to think about using stories. I think I personally overthink stories. I'm thinking I need to teach something. I need to show a message. It's like, who cares? But really this morning, I snapped a picture. I haven't posted it yet of my protein shake. Every day for the last 9 weeks, I wake up in the morning and my husband has a protein shake sitting beside my bed.
Oh, that's
or my
so
chair.
nice.
I mean, I'm sitting there sleeping in a chair. But it's like, that's kind of, no, I mean, it tells a little bit about who I am, my relationship, that kind of, and then I drink a protein drink. So a lot of things can be built in that one little story.
Yeah, because trust is built over knowing a little bit about the person behind the scenes, not just what we present publicly. It's kind of what really goes on in the background and being authentic. So stories is really about that authenticity, like show who you are.
Right. And one thing about stories, and I don't know if you've been, when you watch stories of someone and they've got like 15 little spots like going on, and if you see them in the same outfit, in the same setting, they could be, and yet most of us have it on mute. We're not really listening because we're someplace else usually. And so if we see them and they have the same outfit, kind of same setting, we may think they're talking about the same topic the whole time, but they may change topics. So a good idea is to change your medium that you're using. So do a video maybe, and then maybe do just a blank card with a question or just a still image, and then maybe do boomerang. And so switch it up so your audience knows that you've switched topics and not talking about the same things. So especially if you are talking and doing a video or something in there that you're on mute, you don't have the captions going.
Okay. So 5 times a day, use stories is important to show kind of the behind the scenes, what goes on, who you are, to build that trust. Right. Use what are they called? The stickers that ask questions. What do you think of this? Or the sliders or the yes or the no's to get people engaged. I loved what you said, and it's worth repeating. Use stories as a conversation.
Yes. So think about it as, what would you tell your girlfriend? Or you're sitting around a table at a restaurant and you're with company, visiting with colleagues or friends. What would you share there? You would share like, oh my goodness, I have the best hair product I just tried. Or have you, I just took a picture of I have blueberries and raspberries. I was going to do a this or that. Like, just kind of thing. So think about what you would talk about in a conversation with your girlfriends. And I love it because then it also makes it fun. Right. Because sometimes if we take this stuff so seriously, it's not fun. Right. So you want to make it silly. You want to make it fun. You want to make it engaging. You want to have conversations with people. I love it. And this gal that I was taking the training from, she follows somebody and all they do is share fun TikTok videos to their stories.
I'm going to start doing that because I've done it a couple of times. Have you seen?
Right. And so that's why people follow. But most often people, like 98% of the time, people aren't going to follow you because of your stories. They're going to follow you because of your feed. But the stories is where you build that trust, and then you help with that algorithm.
Okay. All right. So just run down the 5 tips again.
Okay. It's build stories, build trust.
Okay.
5 times a day, approximately every 2 hours. Use your more engagement equals more views. So use your stickers. Document, don't curate. So show through what happens throughout your day, and then share value. Think girlfriends.
Okay. Love it. All right. I love it. Great way to start a Monday. I don't know what Millie's barking at, but thank you, Kim. If they need to find you, and you just did an amazing training, and you gave it to us for our membership site. So all our membership site people have, like, I don't know how many modules it is. It's like a full, very valuable Instagram training that you just gave us to put into my membership site. So thank you for that. And it's up there now.
Yes, yeah. And it's really great for those that need a refresher on Instagram, or you're like, Instagram, what is that? We walk you through how to use Instagram to market your business. Love it.
Love it. All right. So if you are struggling with your marketing, reach out to Kim. Tell them where to find you, Kim.
It's Fresh Impact on Facebook. So.
Okay, awesome. And if you're struggling with growing your business, your ladder of service, profitability, just kind of lost with the balance of your life. And listen, the industries are really busy right now. The 2 industries that I coach in is interior designers and coaches and consultants. And both fields are really busy right now. So if you are struggling with your profitability or growing your business, reach out to me. You don't have to be struggling anymore. There is just amazing amount of business out there for everyone, right? And there's no such thing as competition. So, all right. Thanks, Kim. I will see you next Monday, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow for Money Talk Tuesday. All right.
Have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.